I usually win rounds of Wordle in 4, sometimes 3 rounds. On Friday, I won in 2 rounds. None of this is due to exceptional brilliance, but rather sticking to a set strategy, a little bit of luck, and taking advantage of what my secret tactic, which you can use also, that works remarkably well. Let's walk through an example using my strategy and my tactic for analyzing Wordle hands and see how I came up with this winner in only 3 rounds. I'm Mary Schaefer, founder of AP Now, the place where you go to analyze the latest business intelligence if you work in, manage, or have responsibility for the accounts payable function. And for the next few Saturdays at 9 a.m., we've got our Wordle video. So let's start. Okay. Everyone seems to have their magic starting word for Wordle, and I am no different. I always start with tears, and you could also achieve more or less the same results, by the way, with the word stare, stare. Okay, so I put in tears, and I got lucky. As I said, there's some luck. You can see I found out right off the bat where the T was, and I found out that I have an E and an S that I have to look for. The S, I believe, is in the 3rd or the 4th position because let's face it, not very many words start with TS. I know there are a few, but I'm going to focus on the 3rd and 4th position for my next guess. So I have here a list of the next popular letters in the alphabet that I want to focus on, some of them. And what do I want to do? Well, in this next step, I want to achieve several goals, which I do, by the way, in all my steps. I always try and achieve more than one goal. And what do I want to do this time? I want to try and figure out what that other vowel is. And I'm going to start by focusing either on I or O. I might be a little bit more popular than O in the alphabet, but they're close enough that I don't really distinguish that much. I need to find out where the E and the S are, because remember, I know the T is in first place. So I've got that little diagram for you there, so you can start to look at it. Now I'm looking at it, and I thought about using the word title. That would help me see if there was an I there. It would help me see if the L was there, but it wouldn't help me with any of the other letters. It would also help me find out if the T was in there twice. I wasn't so happy about it, so then I came up with the word TOSED. Now I'm thinking to myself, tossed is TOSSED, 6 letters, that won't work, but I wanted to try these letters because of their popularity. Now, this is where my my secret tactic came in. That's really not so magic or secret, you'll see. But before I get to that, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to this channel. It's free, completely private, and you can subscribe at any time. By ringing that bell next to the subscribe button, you'll be notified when we post new content, which we post accounts payable content on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And for the next few Saturdays, we'll be posting Wordle content. Okay, 9 o'clock. All right. So I want to use the word TOSED, TOSED, but I don't think that's a legitimate English word. And you know, Wordle doesn't take anything that's not legitimate English words. But I put it in, and as you'll see, it worked. And so then I came back and I wanted to look, and I thought, well, this is not a word. This is a word I don't know. What is it? And I looked it up, and sure enough, TOS, which stands for Terms of Service, there's slang in the technology community, if you will. And TOSED, tossed, is someone who gets tossed off a site for inappropriate behavior. So I put my tossed in, and I hit gold again. Now I know what the four of the 5 letters are. I know I have an O and an S, an O and an E, 2 vowels. It's unlikely that my missing letter is going to be a vowel. That's the supposition that I made at this point. So what else do I know? So I put a TOS, and I've got my little diagram for you to work on. I've decided that S is probably in the 4th position, because I know it's not in the 5th position, and I know it's not in the 3rd position. As I said earlier, TS, not that many words start with that, so I have that. So then I look at the E, and I'm looking at the E. The E has to be in the 3rd or 5th position, and And if I'm going to put the S in the fourth position, the O also has to be in the third position, third or fifth position. So now I'm focused on what is that second letter. So for my guess, I looked at it for a little bit, and all of a sudden, a light went off. Those. And sure enough, I was right. Those was the word. And again, it was one of the top letters. And you may be noting as you're looking at this that, Mary, if you had focused on the H instead of the D in your second choice, you would have gotten it right then. So if I really, really stuck to the strategy, that might have worked, and you would be correct. You would be 100% correct. So that is how I think about it. The secret strategy is that, in case you haven't picked it up, just because you don't know a word doesn't mean it's not an English word. So if something sounds like it might be a word and it fits whatever your analytical criteria says, put it in, try it, see what happens. The worst thing that can happen is Wordle comes back and tells you, no, you're wrong. That wasn't a right choice, and it doesn't let you enter it. So you're no worse off for having tried it. Okay. One other way to win quickly, by the way, is to avoid making very common mistakes. We have a video on that too, and a link should appear momentarily to the left. As always, we appreciate those thumbs up, those subscribes, those shares, and those comments. Happy Wordle!